Hi. Hi. Hello, everybody. Hi. Happy Pride. Yeah, it's Pride Month. Happy Pride. You love the book? Welcome to Bryant's Book Club. We are on... It's weird. I thought that we had done more. This is only the third book club. You missed me. I actually realized yesterday, I was like, oh, I should probably go live because I feel very rusty. I haven't gone live a couple weeks. Is that true? A week? Feels like a long time. It hasn't probably been, but you know. Hi. Your book never came in time. I'm sorry. How am I? I'm good. How are you guys? I wanted to wait. I think I started a little bit early. I just wanted to make sure that everybody got the notification because I know that some people have a hard time getting the notification that the live has started. Hi. You're almost done and you really like it so far. Yeah. Okay. What are my thoughts about the book? Should I wait? What time is it? I'll wait like a second to make sure that everybody that wants to be here is here because I did say 30 minutes, like 20 minutes ago. Whatever. Save the live? I will. I'll make sure that I save it. How was my day? It was good. Just chilling at home with my dog. Crazy. There he is. Say hi. You read the book in high school? Yeah. That was a big thing is that I feel like a lot of people already had this as assigned reading, so it was kind of a no-brainer. I don't think I was ever assigned it in school. If I was, don't really know what happened there. So yeah, I think it's 2 o'clock at this point, right? I can talk about it? Can we see your dog face? He's right there. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so, the book. I chose Animal Farm, not because of anything specific, more so just the fact that I had it in my room and I hadn't read it. But I'm actually so glad that it worked out the way that it did because I really enjoyed it and can actually see myself rereading it, which, not that I didn't think that I would want to reread it, but I had read kind of reviews before I started reading it and had heard about it kind of being a nod to the Russian Revolution and communism and these topics that didn't necessarily pique my interest in a novel. But then I was looking into it, I was like, you know what? It's 141 pages. If it's nothing but historical, you'll get through it. You'll learn something, Kaylee. I feel like it really wasn't... It was definitely heavy-handed, but it didn't feel heavy-handed, if that makes any sense. I read it, and one of my first notes that I took in it... One second, let me find it. Yeah, one of the first things I highlighted, it was on page 11, if you have the normal copy, and it was, and remember also that in fighting against man, we must not come to resemble him. Even when you have conquered him, do not adopt his vices. And I put on the side, so I read this book right after I watched Moonlight for the first time, and it kind of made me step into this book with a more vague theme over the communism aspect of it. I wrote on this side, Moonlight, becoming what you hate most. Just that I think that you can look at this in a very general idea of, you can go as general as the teenage son that says he'll never become his father, and suddenly 20 years have passed and you look at where he is now and you connect the dots. I think that this book kind of transcends into a more overlying look at what the world is in a very kind of, in a dark way. You can find a lot of positive things about the world and say that you can become like your mom and you'll become like your mom in a good way. But yeah, I found it really interesting. If you guys, because I know that a lot of people are shy, so if you want to leave your thoughts on the book, you can also put it in the comments. That way I don't have to put you in my live. But I have 3 people that I found on Twitter. I found somebody on Instagram that I really wanted to call in live, but they put in their review that they were in a different time zone and that they wouldn't be able to do it, which is a bummer. They started out their reviews saying that it was very similar to BTS's Am I Wrong? And that caught my eye. I was like, did they just, what? How? Anyways, but they actually had some very interesting points. Hello. Let's see. Some people are just saying hi. So I guess I'll call the first person. So the first person I actually wanted to call, I think her name is Bailey. And she actually caught my eye because I don't know anything about, I mean, you can know general idea about the Russian Revolution, and she actually made some points about specific connections that the book had to that. And so I wanted to call Bailey, if Bailey was here. Oh, but somebody says, what's your favorite part of the book? Gosh. My favorite part of the book, honestly, because I was sticking with like, oh no, this is a more general theme of life and how the world is. This isn't a connection to communism. And then that moment happened between, what is it, Snowflake? I'm horrible with character names. And Napoleon, where the dogs come out and suddenly everything shifts. That stuck out to me. And also the ending. My mom was watching my face when I was reading the ending, and she was like, yeah. Okay. Okay. I should call Bailey. So, Bailey, if you can make my life easier and comment so that I can find you, that would be great, because there's quite a few people trying to get into the live, and I don't know where you are. Her handle is Bailey Joyce 0615. Laundry's done. Somebody said the history. Hi. Bailey! Wait, Bailey, come here. Bailey, I already missed. Bailey, hi! Add. Is that how I go? Yeah. Nailing this whole live thing. All right. Hi!
Hey.
Is your name is Bailey, right?
Yes.
Hi, Bailey. I'm Kaylee. So you made some really interesting points on Twitter, and I kind of just wanted to have you be on here to kind of explain the connections that you made on Twitter for everybody to kind of hear.
Oh, okay. So Major is I believe Lenin, and if you look historically, Lenin took a lot of Marxist ideas of communism and made them into, I think they called it something crazy like Leninism. They all just kind of, and then later it went to Napoleon, who's Stalin. He took Leninism and Marxism and he made them into his own Stalinism, which is shown after he kicks Snowball or Trotsky out, and makes his own rules and bends his own rules, and then becomes like, you know, the leader of everybody. But he really frustrated me.
So how did you enjoy, what were your overall thoughts on the book?
It was it's scary because like this is history, and if we don't look at this pigs or representation of what actually happened in Russia, like if we're not careful here in, you know, America where everyone's free or whatever, and we let the government get too much power, and if like they continue to send lies out or whatever, we listen to them, they could end up taking complete control like Napoleon did, and we could lose everything. We'd end up being just a labor force that doesn't get anything in return.
Well, and I always thought that it was really interesting because I think that the kind of bury your head in the sand mentality can kind of go into everyday life, not even in politics, is just taking the information that you're given and actually form your own opinion on it and educate yourself, as opposed to just going with what other people are saying.
That's like how, so I go to church, I believe in Jesus. Like the pastor's always telling us, like, do your own research in the Bible, not just listen to what he says. It's important there too. Like not to just, okay, cool guy up top, whether you're Catholic and you listen to the Pope, or if you're Mormon, they have their own leaders, like look at where your book is and what it says, and not just listen to all authority, because you can end up getting yourself stuck, in a position where you don't really know what you believe. And when you try that conversation with someone, about anything, you could really put yourself in a hole.
Well, I feel like that's really common today, is just even in a basic conversation, somebody can just agree with you to kind of move the conversation along, when it's almost like you can have a more dynamic conversation with somebody if you do have opposing opinions.
Yeah, instead of just like, someone says something you don't agree with, but you don't really want to talk to them, you just kind of agree. That could also bite you in the butt, because they talk to someone, they're like, oh yeah, she agreed, and they're like, what? You'd already had that argument with another person.
Well, and I think that there's also something to be said, though, that it's like you can have opposing opinions, but don't say only my opinion is correct as well. It's like it can go either way without it being completely blown out of proportion.
Like there's three sides of the story: yours, mine, and the truth, and we can never actually reach that complete common ground, but we should at least try and find some common ground, because not everything is completely black and white. There's always a little bit of a gray area in people's opinions of things, and maybe in laws there isn't, but it's always worth the discussion rather than agreeing without thinking about it.
Right. Well, and what I found specifically more scary than other things apart inside the book was how people forgot about Snowflake. That was the pig's name, right? Snowflake?
Snowball?
Snowflake, Snowball. It's a snow animal. So I thought that was really scary, was that somebody who they knew so well, the entire image of him was completely tarnished by the end of it, and was basically named public enemy number one, just because people just agreed with what Napoleon was saying. That scared me personally.
Yeah, which was ridiculous, because I mean, it even mentions how like the animals felt something, that it was wrong, but they were too scared to speak out because of the dogs, or as it could be seen back to Stalin's secret police, who he used to eliminate his enemies and stuff. And it's like, so you said right before or at the beginning of the live, how they shouldn't become what they hate. And then like the last paragraph of the book, they said that the men and pigs were fighting, and the people watching, or the animals watching, couldn't tell who was who.
Right.
And they're so focused on listening to him that they weren't listening to him.
Yeah, you're not even listening to what's looking at what's genuinely going on. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Bailey. That was such a great conversation. Thank you so much for giving your input and everything.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, have a good one. Thank you.
Let's go. Bye.
Okay, that was so fun. All right, cool. You were expecting the animals to react in some way after Boxer was killed, but it never happened, and it shocked me. That shocked me too. That was one of those moments in the books where I don't cry very easily. I almost started crying when the truck came with Boxer, just because you can work so hard, but if you're keeping your head in the sand about what's actually going on, and he's working so hard to please somebody who wouldn't do the same back, that was really heartbreaking to me. There was a movie? Was there a movie of Animal Farm? I was actually just wondering that. I feel like so many books are made into movies these days. I was like, I'm surprised they made Animal Farm into a movie, but somebody just said that there was a movie. Okay. Let's see. I don't know habla español. I'm sorry. The entire "some animals are more equal than others" needs to be talked about. I agree. That is something that you can clearly see throughout your normal everyday society, is everybody's equal, but as long as you stay in your place. It's interesting how long ago was this book written? The themes are still so prominent today. Somebody says, yes, the movie was whack. There was a pig climbing up a ladder. Oh, God. Okay. I didn't know there was a movie. I've been trying so hard to choose, because the last book was Call Me By Your Name. I was like, oh, I'm going to pick one that isn't a movie. Failed on that one. Okay. Let's see. What is the next book? I don't know yet. My foot's asleep. Ow! Okay. Okay, so the next person that I wanted to talk to, her name is Eden, and she actually had she put like a very long post. Oh my god, my foot's asleep. She had similar opinions, and that basically, I put it in my notebook that the book, my writing, guys, has really gone out the window. The book was more about the world in general and not just communism, which, moving so quickly. Hi. Oh my god, my foot is so asleep. Hi, I love you. Reply to me, Kaylee. Stop ignoring me, please. I'm not trying to ignore you, I swear. Can I be your main squeeze? Wow. All right, Eden. Where are you at? Somebody says I should write my own book. I'm okay. I'm not a good writer. My foot is so asleep right now. Bang my foot. I'm okay. No, I'm just gonna shake it out. I can't even talk to Eden right now. I really need to focus on my foot getting feeling back into it. Woo! Okay. Okay. Eden, where you at? Let's see. The handle is EdenX_shoot. I think. Eden. Let's see. Let's see. Eden, I'm looking for. Ah! Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What about you?
I'm good. Your name is Eden, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice to meet you. I wanted you to share what you had basically written on Twitter with everybody because I found what you had to say really interesting.
Man, that was a long time ago. Okay, wait.
Oh.
Cause I read it a week ago and then I posted it, but then you said that the Brian's Book Clubs was gonna be this week, so then I reposted it again. But like, okay, so basically, I thought that the book was very interesting in a way that I felt like communism wouldn't have been able to, rise if it wasn't for fascism. With the thing with the Holocaust and everything that was going on, it was really all the attention was paid, to World War II and everything, and then that's how like communism was able to rise because people were like they wanted to change and they wanted like something different. And I feel like this also applies to the current state of politics, kind of like Donald Trump, how people wanted to like a change, anything, just anything other than liberal, and that's how you couldn't see that no one saw Donald Trump win, and that's how it just came to be. And I think like it's really
sorry, continue.
No,
Go, please.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just think like you guys said about how everyone just disfigured the whole image about Snowball, like how they came to be. They just used propaganda, and then this whole image that Snowball had formed was destroyed of him. They thought of him as a common enemy, and I feel like this is really, like I said, applicable in real life because just rumors or anything. You think you know someone, and then you hear this person tells you one thing about this other person, and then you suddenly think, oh my god, they're such a bad person. But is that even true? Do you know the facts and evidence, anything? They just hear, is that what you say? Like they just listen to what people say and they don't think about it. Like their failure to think
when you haven't even listened to what you know and what you've heard for yourself and seen for yourself.
Exactly. And I think that's really like a problem that we face in society just in general, because I remember reading an article about a journalist that went to the trial about a Holocaust, like one of the masterminds behind the Holocaust. And she said that what she saw was basically, an ordinary man. Like he just executed orders and didn't think about the consequences of what he was gonna do. And I feel like for communism in the book also, Boxer or any other characters, they would just simply obey Napoleon. They're like, Napoleon is right because he says so, and then they don't think about the actual consequences of everything that happened in the
Well,
book.
and I think that that also has to be tied into the fear tactics that they used of, you understand, yeah, we're going against one of the commandments, but do you want to go back to what your old owner was like? They would end every statement with, but would you want to go back to how it was? And so
Yeah.
everything was twisted into what they knew was a selfish want of every person, which was that they didn't want things to go back to what they were. But then it's almost like they lost sight of what was actually happening around them because they kind of skewed their own image of what they had been through in the past.
I agree. Like, I feel like it's really a problem because they just even that, I think her name was Clover, and she kept, you know, every time she saw them doing something, you know, like the bed with the sheets and stuff like that, and then she would look back at the commencement, and then she would see that they added 2 words, but then she would think about it. She was like, well, since it's written, then it's fine. But she didn't really process the whole thing. She was just
Right.
like, oh, it's here, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Well, and
think that's,
even, I mean, it was one of the most frustrating books to read when it was so short, but there were so many signs of the pig falling from the ladder when he had clearly been adjusting the commandments, and things just one after the next of drinking alcohol and killing other animals, and all of the rules that you just saw one by one be taken out. And I was like, guys, open your eyes, and it just never happened.
I
It's
feel
one
like
of
I feel
the
like it's because they were using basically fear tactics, like you said. Like they would see the thing and then they would almost process it, but then I don't know, like a dog would growl and bark, and then they would immediately forget.
Yeah, because it's, well, I'd rather be alive than dead. So anything's better than that.
That's, I feel like, in a way, because of everything that happened, they were so scared to act against whatever they had. They just simply obeyed. But in reality, if they all, you know, came together, they could have probably rebelled against Napoleon.
Which they had done prior. You know, they knew that they were capable of creating a revolution, but it's all a mental state of not thinking that there was a revolution that was needed again.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thank you so much, Eden. I loved what you had to say. It was really great talking to you.
Thank you.
All right, have
It
a
was
good
nice
one,
speaking
Eden.
to you too.
Bye. You guys are so intellectual. This is fun. Somebody said the book was frustrating. I agree. It was really, I thought when I looked at I mean, it's a very small book. I went through a roller coaster ride of emotions while reading 141 pages. Let's see. I love you too. So, okay, so the next person, it was funny because, so I spoke, I think, okay, Ariel, I am so sorry. I'm going to ask you when I go live with you because I suck at remembering things. I went live with Ariel last live, and I was like, and so whoa, people were saying, oh, you know, like reread, like Ariel, like reread her review on Animal Farm. I was like, no, Kaylee, like give people other opportunities. I read her review and it was really interesting. So now I want to talk to her again. But yeah, let's see. I love you too. Hello. Hi. Read this. Oh, you read the book in school and it taught you things. Yeah, I love that this is actually taught in schools because I just feel like this is such an easy read. There are so many books out there that can talk about something as serious as this, but they use a certain type of language that I feel like is catered to a very specific type of person, whereas somebody in middle school, somebody who's 21, somebody who has a higher degree of education, you can pick this book apart and you can understand what they're getting at a very baseline understanding, which is why I really, really enjoyed this book. Okay, I'm gonna call her. Let's see. Ariel, period 41. Let's see. Come at me. Oh no, this is really hard. Ariel, if you're here, can you comment so I can find you? Please. Do I have a favorite character? in Animal Farm? Shoot, I don't know. Which one was the horse that really liked the ribbons? I liked her. You know, there's an underlying political factor to every single character, but I just like that she went, you know what? I really do like ribbons, so I'm just gonna take a step back. Okay, let's find her. Ariel. 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 I'm so sorry. Where are you at? I'm in the viewers now. How do I... Before I go live with somebody, I didn't know that when you press go live with somebody, you can also see who's viewing it. And number 1 on my list of viewers is my mom. Love that. Oh my gosh. I can't find you. No. Ariel. If you're here, comment. I cannot find you. My foot is so asleep. Ow. Hi. Oh my god. Ow! Somebody says, Ariel, hurry up. We gotta go to sleep. Well, if I can't find her, I guess we're gonna have to end it there. But I think that we had some good talks this time, guys. I'm really enjoying these freaking book club meetings. Oh, somebody says they saw her. Hi. There we go. Hi.
Hey.
How are you? How have you been?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's Ariel or Oriel?
Ariel. Honestly,
Ariel.
I get
Okay.
I get so many different variations. I'm used to anything at this
Yeah.
point.
Okay, I would love for you to share your opinion on the book.
Okay, cool. So I read it in a day, again, like last time. My eyes kind of broke because I accidentally ordered the pocket-sized version.
I saw that you did that, and I really felt for you.
Yeah, so I was like squinting, and I was like, I'm gonna need glasses even more than before after this, but it's worth it. So I really thought it was interesting. I paid 0 attention in history classes in high school. I hate to admit it.
I felt really bad about that one. I was like,
yeah,
I could have made some more connections here.
It's okay. So I literally went on YouTube and I was like, crash course Russian Revolution, and then so I learned everything and I was like, all right, I got this.
Good
And
on you.
I definitely made connections between like characters and like the real people. How like the humans were like kind of the tsars. I really don't know how to say that word.
Nice.
In the Russian Revolution, and the animals were like the Russian people, and they wanted to overthrow the tsars, and they basically did, and that's what happened in the book. And then I feel like Major was like kind of the well-respected person, and I kind of equated him, I think the other people who spoke said it too, like to Lenin. Mm-hmm. And I felt like he kind of incited the revolution. And then you have Napoleon and Snowball, who at first they're like all innocent and cute, like they have these little names. Little
piggies.
Yeah, like I was like, I want a pet pig, and then I read that and I was like, maybe not.
Same thing. I was like, wow, I can't get a pet pig anymore after this book.
And I'm like, no, my pig is gonna kill me. Like, yeah. So then I realized, like, I was like, okay, so with like knowing the historical background, because if I didn't know it was like a Russian Revolution thing, I would just be like, I guess the animals don't like the people, and like, right. So I felt like it was interesting the way Major in his speech, he like kind of appealed to his audience and it almost dehumanized humans. He was like, yeah, we have no common ground with them, and if you do think we have common ground, you're wrong. And I definitely felt like this is something that goes on like really a lot today. Like, it's very prevalent, and it makes me sad because like with different races and also sexualities, like especially people who are conservative, they don't want there to be commonalities between the groups, because then once you start sympathizing with someone, you start saying, okay, maybe they're not that bad.
Maybe I can see some of their side.
Exactly. And I thought this was really sad because I was like, damn, like this happens, say like it's Pride Month and there's a bunch of people saying like ignore it, like have an anti thing going on. And it kind of like made me realize like this book was written, I don't know how long ago. I wasn't born, obviously. But I was like, it's so prevalent today, and the fact that like it was sad to see the way Napoleon essentially became the one thing that he advocated against, you know? And one character that really stuck out to me that I don't think anyone mentioned was Squealer. I just saw someone commented about my poster. I'm sorry if that's inappropriate. Squealer, it kind of reminded me just like the way there's people who spit political propaganda out, and like on Twitter, for example, people will just tweet things, and if someone doesn't have their own knowledge, they'll just kind of accept things at face value, you know? And Squealer, whenever people would start to question and be like, oh, maybe Napoleon's doing something a little dirty here, Squealer would be like, no, he's right, you're wrong, no. And like the dogs also kind of scared me, because it's like, I feel like it's like someone said, Stalin's secret police, you know? And I felt like that was also a crucial point just in general, like ironically in the book, because the whole thing was animals are equal, yet he used animals to turn on other animals.
Right, so but some are more equal than other animals.
Yeah.
Right.
And the whole book was definitely, like, it was a great allegory. You know, it was packed with, I probably didn't say that word right either. I'm
Allegory.
so tired.
It's good. It's good.
I'm like half asleep right now. Yeah, I didn't take my daily nap yet. But yeah, I definitely was interested in it because I've always loved literature. I mean, somehow I decided to major in psychology instead of English, but too late to change.
Right.
Anyway, so I love analyzing books, and this one was like definitely packed, like every page. Like as I was writing my analysis, I was like, I have to cut this down. Like it's too long. Every page has something.
Well, that's the thing that's so interesting, because as you were talking about it, it made me think about something that's really talked about a lot recently, which is cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's on the internet slang. I'm like cool with the hit kids.
Oh yeah.
Which is that it's like somebody will say something that a majority of people disagree with, and instead of it being like they were wrong, let's explain why they were wrong, let's move on. It's like, oh well, they're canceled.
Right.
Oh, clearly, like they have always been this way. They're a horrible person. There's no coming back from this. They're done. It's over. And I feel like that's almost as dangerous as what you're reading in the book. It's like this, every person is a person that can learn, and there's more than just black and white.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I feel like this book and like cancel culture and everything, like society seems to, I mean, not everybody, there's definitely a good proportion of people who have learned to see like the gray area, you know, in life, but a lot of people only do see in black and white. And I feel like that's one of the biggest issues, because when you cancel someone, you're not realizing like that's a person. And I feel like people have kind of utilized the internet to hide behind, because if you were face to face with that person, you wouldn't be like, you're canceled.
Right. It's like, wait, what?
like what does that even mean? Like, you know, I mean, look, some people justifiably should not have a certain following because of certain things that they've done. But
yeah, and I mean, if you're consistently, you know, being hurtful towards people and creating negative things, that
yeah,
understandably you're not learning from different things and you're not trying to learn. So clearly maybe you shouldn't be on here.
Yeah, exactly. You know, certain people do have a platform that, I mean, it's all opinion based. I mean, some things that you see and you're like, okay, that's kind of rude. Like, don't be racist, don't be homophobic, anything like that. But
a nice person.
Yeah, it's really not hard. And so I feel like I don't think those people should be canceled either. I think we should kind of just not give them attention. But the whole idea that like people are getting canceled over, also things are rumors too. Like there's some things have no evidence, and someone could just come out and be like, hey, this person said this, and they're canceled.
Right.
You know? So I feel like that's definitely something that needs to be reevaluated, but I don't think it will be, because it's such a popular trend. And people
and I
kind
think
of
that can go as deep as politics too. Is like, oh well,
yeah,
everybody says that this is right, and I think that can go as deep as my parents raised me this way, so that's just how I am. When it's, you come to a point in your life where you went to high school, you're educated, even if you didn't go to high school, you can form your own opinion. You're an adult, so learn to step outside of what you've been brought up to learn and know, and create your own path.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it's sad because I've met people who are just like, my parents raised me this way and I'm not going to change it. And I feel like that's sad because they don't want to go and form their own thoughts, you know? And once you go to college, you see everything, you know, because freedom of speech, like they let anyone on campus. So you see people holding up like anti-circumcision signs with blood-stained pants, like it's wild.
Yes,
and, you know, I'm just trying to walk to class with like my sunglasses on because I have no makeup on. And I'm like,
right.
But it's definitely a culture where people, like someone else said, people don't like to argue. They just kind of blindly agree. And I feel like the sheep in this book were just like repeating everything, you know? And I like the way they use the sheep as the people who agreed, because like people say like, oh, you're just blind sheep, like that's a saying, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not all caught up on the sayings. I sleep too much of the time. But it's definitely a situation where I feel like we need to reevaluate a lot of what's going on. And sadly, I don't think it's gonna happen because people are so busy. Like, I feel like politics wise, people have become so polarized in both directions that they're not willing to conversate with each other at all. And I feel like
is taken very personally, which in some ways a lot of what's happening in politics is very personal.
Oh yeah.
There comes a point where there needs to be an open conversation between everybody.
Yeah, and I feel like it's sad, like with Donald Trump, like I don't want to get political, but like he seems like the type of person that's just like, if your opinion's not my opinion, I don't want to hear it. You know? And I know people like that, and it's sad because I feel like the only way to learn, or at least understand other people, like you don't have to agree with them, but at least get their point of view, is to hear their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like that's the only way to kind of be successful as like a person and learn to accept other people.
Right, just grow as a person.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, thank you so much. It was great talking to you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me on again.
Okay, have a good one. It was great talking to you.
You too. Bye.
Bye. This was so nice. I love talking to you guys. And I feel like on that note, I feel like what is really great about book club and just being able to call you guys is that I can hear your opinions, not only just me, but whoever else is watching the live can hear it as well. But yeah, it was really great talking to everybody. I hope you guys have a good one. I don't know what the next book is, and I don't know when it's going to be. Somebody said that they feel dumb after hearing the conversation. Don't feel dumb. Don't feel dumb. See, like you're shutting down. Just, open up your heart. But yeah, I had a really good time talking to you guys. And I don't know when the next book club will be, but obviously I'll let you guys know when it is. I figure, I don't know, I go back and forth. I'm like, I should do a light book, but I just don't enjoy light books. But we'll see what the next one will be. I love you too. I love you. I love you too. But it was really great talking to you guys. I hope you guys have a good one. Yeah. Thanks for joining the live. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.